Jacob, here we are looking ahead to a new season, but you've had an adventurous summer with your country, St Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, it was. It's been non-stop, really has. Yeah, it was a good experience to be out there. Ended up in America for 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks. But no, back to business now. Been back training last couple of weeks, so yeah, ready to go for Saturday.
With St Kitts and Nevis in that CONCACAF Gold Cup, you beat Curacao and French Guyana. That must have been a great achievement for the country to get actually into the next round from that stage.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, that they were the two preliminary games. Curacao we weren't expected to beat at all. We've got a lot of players who've played in the Premier League. They've got the Pacuna brothers, Vernon Nita used to be at Newcastle. So a lot of players who've played professionally, dotted around Europe and stuff. But yeah, we won that on penalties. That was 1-1. Then we won the game on penalties, and then the French Ghana game, which was a bit more of a winnable. We knew was more of a winnable game. So if we got through the first one, we knew we'd have a chance, and we won that on penalties as well. So yeah, good to get through.
Got to ask, did you take any penalties?
No, I didn't. I was off by then. I started those two games, but came off and let the other lads do it.
You were playing these games though into Miami's ground. It wasn't as if you were on an island somewhere. So that must have been a great atmosphere playing on the one ground with all the other countries nearby.
Yeah, it was a different. We've never really had the feeling of a tournament sort of football before. You know what I mean? We was training, and we actually all trained at the Inter Miami's training facilities just behind the ground. So you could see all the other teams training. It was a surreal feeling to be in that. But yeah, we went to get to go watch a couple of games actually that were kicking off before us, or the days that we had rest days. So yeah, it was good to be in there and not travelling about at the start of the trip anyway.
You played Trinidad and Tobago and unfortunately lost, but in the next game you played the USA in front of a much bigger crowd than what you'd already played under.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous experience. We'd played at Miami. The games there were maybe 3,000 or 4,000 there, but it doesn't feel like that in like a 30,000 seater stadium. But against the US, obviously the tournament is always based in the USA, and yeah, that was crazy. There was like, I don't know, maybe 35,000, 40,000 there, and it was just, you can't even hear yourself think. Do you know what I mean? It was a great experience, and yeah, we didn't. They beat us, but no, it was good to even just be there.
Yeah. You lost to Jamaica in the next round, but by then it's still a great achievement by you guys, considering you're such a small country and very few players to call upon, I suppose, to get to that stage. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, going over there, there's only 50,000 people who live on the island, and some of the stadiums will hold like 80,000. So it just puts it into perspective, really. You could have got 1.5 of the country all in one stadium. So we really did have to pinch ourselves. Obviously, you go into games thinking, we're going out to win any game at any level. But I think now, looking back at it, you really just had to pinch yourself a little bit and be like, well, you're playing against the best of the best, that side of the world, really. You know what I mean? Jamaica, obviously. There's Leon Bailey, Damari Gray, and Mikel Antonio, and it's like, well, just take. You want to win a game, and after the game, immediately you're very disappointed. But a day or two after that, and especially now, it's a very much pinch yourself moment.
Yeah, great personal experience for you yourself. You've added to your caps tally with the country, and of course the country can revel in a little bit of glory as well, can it?
Yeah, definitely. We'll have done a lot for the country back home. A lot of people probably wouldn't have heard of the country before, especially in America. A name was getting beamed on ESPN and NBC and all these channels that these news channels. So hopefully it will have done some help to the country, maybe getting some tourism and stuff like that, and just maybe putting St Kitts on the map, especially for the boys who live locally, who still live on St Kitts. It might just open a few more doors for them, and because we got there, so there's a good standard that live on the island, so hopefully it'll just open some doors for them to be able to get off the island and play professionally somewhere.
So you came back home, played a couple of friendly matches, popped away on a quick break, much deserved break as well, had a couple of training sessions, and now you're all set for the kick-off on Saturday.
Yeah, I was supposed to go away on holiday with my girlfriend and my little boy but I got the call up, so it was a little bit unexpected. So I'd said to the gaffer, "Look, gaffer, I'm going to miss that holiday, but do you mind if I can get away when I get back?" And they've been, Gaffer and Daz and Danny have been keeping in touch with them all. They've been great for me, great support behind me while I've been over there. And yeah, was just straight back into it. Got back and had maybe a week, then just nipped away for five days, missed a session, and then yeah, got the games in between that, and yeah, got my goals and feel fit, feel fresh, and you know, probably the fittest I've ever been, really, Ray, to be honest, just because we was training every day. It was sometimes 45-degree heat. You know, it was a pre-season, and when I went out, I thought I'll use it as a pre-season, really, just to get myself fit. Saves me running on the roads and doing. They've done some mad sessions apparently, so I've missed them. So yeah, no, I feel good and just ready to get back into it.
Now, last season you scored 21 goals, 19 in the league and 2 in the FA Cup. Got to ask you, are you aiming for the same or for more?
No, I'd always aim for more. Happy with the return, don't get me wrong, but you know, obviously there's games where I feel like I could have scored more, and maybe heading towards 25-30 would have been an excellent return, to be fair, but I would have been a little bit more content with that. But no, I feel like that we've improved the squad, so hopefully, you know, I'll be able to get a few more chances, and if it's heading more towards 25-30, I'll be happy.
And let's hope you back at least one then on Saturday against Curzon Ashton.
Yeah, that'll do. Obviously, I scored first game last year. So yeah, it's just, I think that's what it's about, isn't it? You don't want to be going, touch wood, you don't want to be going 5, 6, 7 games not scored. So the quicker you can get off the mark, especially as me, Mitch, Nella, the strikers, you know, you want to get off the mark as quick as you can, and it sort of calms you down a little bit, and yeah, brings confidence.